Do angels have sex with humans? A biblical response to the Nephilim question. The belief that angels can have sexual relations with humans is a misinterpretation of Scripture. It directly contradicts the nature and function of angels described throughout the Bible. Let us examine the foundational text often used to support this claim, Genesis 6:1-4, and then evaluate it in light of broader biblical doctrine. The misunderstanding of Genesis 6:1-4. When man began to multiply on the face of the land, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of man, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. Genesis 6:1-4, ESV. The confusion arises around the phrase sons of God. Some traditions, particularly intertestamental Jewish writings and later mythological expansions, claim these were fallen angels who had sexual intercourse with human women, producing hybrid offspring called Nephilim. However, that interpretation contradicts several key points of Scripture. 1. Angels are spirit beings, not biological creatures. Are they not all ministering spirits sent out to serve for the sake of those who are to inherit salvation? Hebrews 1:14. Angels are spiritual beings, not material organisms with DNA or reproductive capability. Jesus Christ himself declared, "For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven." Matthew 22:30. This statement implies that angels do not engage in sexual relations or procreation. The suggestion that angels could lust, reproduce, and create hybrid offspring suggests a biological function they were never given and contradicts their heavenly purpose. 2. The sons of God were not angels, but righteous men. The term sons of God, Hebrew bene elohim, is used elsewhere in Scripture to refer to godly men. See Deuteronomy 14:1, Romans 8:14, particularly the righteous lineage of Seth. In this view, Genesis 6 describes the moral decline that occurred when the righteous descendants of Seth intermarried with the ungodly descendants of Cain, leading to corruption and violence. This interpretation aligns with the passage's moral warning. Wickedness abounds when God's people compromise with the world. That led to the flood's judgment, not some mythological half-angel breeding program. 3. The Nephilim were not angel-human hybrids. The word Nephilim means fallen ones, or possibly giants, but nowhere in the text does it say they were the offspring of angels. Instead, it states, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men." Genesis 6:4. This implies the Nephilim were already on earth before the so-called unions, and continued to exist afterward. They were likely tyrannical rulers or men of great violence, men of renown, not supernatural hybrids. If they were born of angels, how could they still exist after the flood? See Numbers 13:33. God destroyed all corrupted flesh in the flood except Noah's family. 4. Jude and Peter. Reference rebellious angels, not sexual sin with humans. Some cite Jude 6-7 and 2 Peter 2:4 to argue that angels sinned by having sex with women. However, these passages refer to angels who left their proper domain, which refers to rebellion and perhaps possession, not carnal union. And the angels who did not stay within their own position of authority, but left their proper dwelling, he has kept in eternal chains. Jude 6. The sin of these angels is one of rebellion, not sexual union. Jude's next verse compares their rebellion to Sodom, a city that sought to violate God's order, not produce hybrid children. To leap from rebellion to breeding with humans stretches the text beyond its purpose. A dangerous distraction. The idea that angels can have sex with humans stems not from Scripture but from extra-biblical myths, Gnostic teachings, and pagan traditions. It leads believers away from the core truths of the Bible and promotes spiritual sensationalism. The Nephilim were not half-angels. They were violent, rebellious men who represented the culmination of moral collapse that preceded God's judgment through the flood. The true lesson of Genesis 6 is not about angelic breeding, it's about human rebellion, spiritual compromise, and divine judgment.